A good learning space, I think it needs a few component parts. First, looking at the geometry of the classroom, so it's making sure it's not too deep. Kids are always close enough to the external envelope of the building and have a relationship with the landscape. It's making sure you've got a well-designed and ergonomic classroom in terms of furniture layout and arrangement. It's making sure you've got the ability to kind of see over the kind of flexible spaces that occur within a school. So you're getting the chance to, I guess, see the journey through a building, and obviously you're part of a bigger whole, part of a kind of landscape setting. Daylighting is just so fundamental to the way the classrooms come together. The notion of having a windowless classroom is just something that I personally couldn't comprehend as an architect. It's the well-being of children within the space, it's the ability to connect the classroom to the outdoor environment. It's fundamental to everything that we do, and the structure of a classroom essentially evolves around a natural and passive design to teaching space. The benefits that daylighting and a well-lit classroom space can offer, it's coming down to attainment within the classroom, the ability to concentrate, the ability to stay active within a kind of learning environment. I think all stems from as I say, the kind of passive and naturally lit environment that the kids are in. So if we can design a school that offers that sort of environment to be in, hopefully you're going to see attainment levels rise, you're going to see attention spans increasing, you're going to see children more active in the delivery of the curriculum. So one of the key projects that we're looking at now is the design of a new early years centre, basically a new building for preschool children to learn within. A key part of an early years centre is the ability for kids to develop their own self-confidence, their own motor skills, their own self-development, and none of that needs to happen within a traditional classroom. So we've broken down the barriers within this building. We're basically creating a kind of indoor space, sheltered outdoor space, and in connection to the outdoor landscape. Children can basically be in a natural environment throughout the course of the entire day. So naturally ventilated, probably need to have a jacket on most of the time because you're outdoor in a Scottish climate, but essentially kids are getting to learn and develop within a completely natural environment. So we've got a prototype developed for this particular design. We've got a local authority who's now committing to do 4 of these, and over the course of the next 6 months we'll be bringing this project to fruition. We hope it will be a really new and kind of exciting concept in what early years education can bring. Early years design, personally I find is completely different from a secondary school or even a primary school, because the curriculum's totally different. It's not the case we're trying to, teach these kids maths or English or even develop kind of art skills. What we're trying to do is teach these kids how to walk, how to run, how to intermingle with other kids. So the curriculum's completely different, which, as I mentioned, doesn't lead itself to being in a classroom. It needs to be an environment they can go out and explore in, gain an attitude to risk and kind of self-development. So a very different brief for these projects, which is something I'm finding hugely exciting. And unfortunately, the biggest challenge always comes down to cost, and it's balancing the innovation and creativity that schools can bring with, of course, the funding mechanisms that sit behind them. I think an architect's skill is to try and hone down to a client exactly what's important in terms of a teaching space. And some of the things that were discussed at the seminar today about the quality of daylighting and the effect on children, I think reinforces the message that we're trying to put across, that reducing down window sizes and making classrooms more internalised actually has more of a detrimental effect on people's well-being. Surely if funding's coming forth to deliver these new buildings, that's the thing we should be focusing on. So it really helps us to deliver that sort of message within kind of funding bodies, to make sure buildings are properly responsive to people's needs. One of our more recent projects, a project in Greenock, which is a small nursery school building, which we talked about in the conference there, directly applied the VELUX roof lights at the centre of the plan. So it aided our ventilation strategy. You've got cross flow across the space. Obviously all the windows are automated, so you get the chance to get that cross flow working in a very user-friendly format. We've linked it in with the automated blinds, so you can control the quality of light that's coming in the space. They've almost become the kind of feature component part of this nursery building. Staff like them, staff find them easy to use, children are benefiting from the fact you've got a really naturally lit and a kind of creative play space to be in. So it's a product that we've been very keen on and one that's been easy to integrate within our design solution. Discussions this morning, hugely interesting. More often than not, you can find yourself starting to work in a silo, particularly when projects are under pressure. The ability to step out of the office and actually speak to other disciplines and other professionals about exactly what daylighting can bring in terms of a quality environment is certainly something I'll feed into the work that we've been doing. And hopefully what we've been able to demonstrate is that these lessons are beginning to filter through our projects as well. So if we can open up eyes to the kind of funding clients and those that are commissioning these buildings to, first of all, the architecture can bring, but the science that sits behind that, it's got to be a huge benefit. So a worthwhile morning.